know what we have done in these foreign countries. We are creating a worse situation. I'm not for dictators. I'm not for despots. But for God's sakes, if you're going into an area and you're going to make things worse, then you need to think about your policy before you do it.
Amazing. Congressman Jones has introduced legislation. He needs your help to get it rammed through and out onto the floor. HCR 107-202-224-3121. Everybody call right now. Sir, we got about 30 seconds. Final comment.
Well, I always appreciate what you do to educate the American people. I appreciate our men and women in uniform, and I will close by asking God to please bless our men and women in uniform. Let's bring them home, God. Help bring them home, and let's rebuild America, and God bless America. A republic, not an empire. Congressman Walter B. Jones, thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you, my friend. Bye-bye. Thank you. A real gentleman, a real patriot. We had a Congress full of guys like that, we'd have our country back. Stay with us. More straight ahead, your phone calls, and a ton of news. Okay, I haven't gotten to some of the most important news. I was looking through my stacks here. I'll do that after I take a round of calls. Fukushima to blame for mysterious illnesses, sickening hundreds of flight attendants and killing wildlife all over Alaska. That's in the mainstream news, but they question mark it. Now the people flying in aircraft in that area are having their hair fall out. This is on record. We're going to be getting into that, just a bunch of other news. But right now, let's go through your calls as quickly as we can. Carl, Steve, Adam, Richard, Steve, and others. Carl in Oregon, thanks for holding your on the air.
Brother, this is your old buddy calling you from FEMA Region 10.
Aren't you glad you got regions and not states? I mean, that's freedom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to bow down right today and just write my Federal Reserve overlords and say, thank you, sir. May I have some more tyranny?
Well, that's because they're good people. I mean, and drink some more fluoride water, too. It's good for your teeth.
Hey, double think. Absolutely. SOS. SOS. I need a favor from you, Alex.
Save our souls. What?
I don't know if you can do this for me or not. If you can, I'll take it off air. But if not, I'll have to contact Jordan Maxwell.
I don't know what that means, but just go ahead. We'll call Jordan Maxwell. Go ahead.
Okay. Fritz is our local person here, our local researcher. He lives here in town, but he's hard to get a hold of. I don't know if I can reach him or not. If you want to hold me over to the other side of the break.
Sir, I don't know what you're... Just tell me what you're talking about. I have no idea.
Okay. I called you about 3-4 months ago, and I told you about my church perhaps has been co-opted by a Jesuit order of COINTEL against people.
Well, a lot of the big denominations have been taken over by different groups. They have the World Council of Churches. I mean, most churches, if they're official mainline churches, the preacher is given a doctrine to teach, and it's basically New World Order.
Right, exactly. But what I need to do is, he told me, I sat it in his church office, and I talked to him for over 2 hours. And he told everything I talked to him about. He tried to debunk everything I was trying to talk to him about. And he said, I'm welcome for you to give me some proof or evidence. Okay? Show me some proof. All right? I say, I'll do that. I'll do the best I can to go out and see if I can get some.
I remember your call now, and you brought him info about the New World Order, and he basically said, don't worry about it. And then now you bring up Jordan Maxwell and Fritz Springmeier. How can I help you? I mean, what can I do for you?
Okay, if you can't do it to me, give it to me.
What is it? No, just tell me. What is it?
I just need to get an email address, some way I can publish this person, that I can contact him to get information from him, because he's our local source. He's like our Alex Jones of Portland, Oregon.
Listen, I appreciate your call. I need to get Fritz Springmeier back on about a bunch of stuff anyways. So we'll set up Fritz Springmeier sometime next week for an hour, and I'll ask him on air if he wants to give out a contact point. And I'm sure he will. So next week, Fritz will be on if he can do it, and we'll ask him if he wants to give out a contact. But, man, I can barely run my own life. I mean, I get so busy being here at work that I forget to pay bills sometimes at home. I mean, the trash piles up, you know what I mean? Literally. So I got a lot of honeydews to do. I mean, I'm not like some omnipresent person that can operate as the Capitol switchboard and go, let me put you right through to Fritz Springmeier. What, you need Jordan Maxwell? Here it is. Yeah, here we go. And again, I'm not mad at the caller. It's just that people always preface, well, if you can't do it, fine. Then, okay, what is it? Well, if you can't do it, fine, but I'll need to, and it just goes on and on and on and on. I understand. Hey, I want to get in touch with Fritz Springmeier. He may know about infiltration of my church. You know how to do it. Yeah, I'll talk to him and see if he wants to give out his email on air. Boom, done, over. I'm just frustrated because I got all this news I want to get to, and I want to take your calls. But we don't screen your calls, which makes it interesting. But then it gets a little weird sometimes just because it's like personal phone calls on air. Let's go ahead and talk to Steve in Florida. Steve, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon, Alex. I wanted to say, first of all, thank you for putting the information out there about the longevity products. I've been using the Tangy Tangerine, and I just got the Rebound. I haven't used it yet, but I'm getting ready to run in a marathon, so I'm looking forward to incorporating the Rebound. But the Tangy Tangerine, I can see how people would lose weight with it because it's definitely an appetite suppressant, because it satisfies you at the cellular level with all the minerals and vitamins that you need.
Well, look, I'm trying to get in shape, and I know the globalists have adulterated the food, and the food's grown in most areas with hardly any minerals or trace elements. So I did research, found longevity. We discount it at InfoWarsTeam.com. I only promote what I believe in, and that's why we're promoting it. What else is on your mind today?
Yeah, I wanted to say that I have a suggestion as far as what we refer to these globalists as, and I referred to them as this myself, as the global elite. However, the word elite means like the best of the best.
Yeah, we should call them the wickedest of the wicked.
Well, they're the worst of the worst. So what I would suggest is call them the global delete for two reasons. They are subjecting us to a technocracy and want to delete us all through eugenics. But eventually, these guys themselves are going to get what they've given out. They will be deleted, because Jesus says when he comes back, the beast and the false prophet are going to be taken and cast alive into the lake of fire. So they're going to be deleted permanently.
Amen to that, brother. Well, that's why they try to play God. Everything they do is a counterfeit of creation and of the creator of that creation. They say they want to play God. They think they're going to become God. Ray Kurzweil, all of them. It's the same deal. They're going to take over. They're having us pay them through Apple, Google, all of it, and Sony and the rest of it, for the equipment globally with spy systems built into it to track and enslave us and tax us. It's a big joke. The entire technocracy is going in, and they're bragging about it. Can you imagine 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if Bush, when he got caught doing warrantless wiretapping of citizens, how much trouble he got in? Should have gone to jail. It's illegal. Now the CIA director goes, yeah, we listen to everything you do, ha, 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 on TV. And you're like, yeah, all the appliances have tech to watch you. Yep, it's true. You don't have a Fourth Amendment. I mean, it's a confession of their criminal activity. They now admit all over the country, the feds are instructing schools to take children's DNA without their parents telling them. Same thing in England. I remember 5, 6 years ago, they would have kids march in elementary school and go enroll in a retina scan, a thumbprint. You're James Bond spies now. Don't tell mommy and daddy. A lot of the kids get into the role playing, and then the schools would deny they were doing it, but then the curriculum got released, totally turning the kids against the parents. The government is out of control. It's like the guy that called in yesterday, and the 2 off-duty cops were talking about, yeah, I choked this guy for no reason. Yeah, he was begging for his life. Yeah, we broke this guy's arm. Man, I just love beating people. And the guy's like, my gosh, I was actually sitting there listening to him. Yeah. That's who they want. The military wants gangbangers and criminals. The police want that. They're building an army of evil. Every criminal government does it. It's happening. It's real. And they've got everybody in these peer pressure systems, the public, the police, everybody, just to get acclimated, because they do it incrementally. A little more, a little more, a little more. Pretty soon, you're in bad shape, and we're there. I mean, impeachment proceedings have begun against Obama. It's never in the news. Re-education camp documents to arrest us for our political views and put us in brainwashing camps are confirmed by the Army. Zero news coverage. Zero. Because not just that the media is controlled, but most of these alternative media and radio hosts and others, they always were told this wasn't real. So even as it's now admitted, they still don't want to cover it because it might look, quote, kooky. People never want to believe. The stories were coming out about the Soviets killing tens of millions, and our media said it's not true. Uncle Joe is a nice guy. Uncle Joe was what they called Joseph Stalin. Go look up. I've gone to the microfilm. I've done articles on it years ago. I ought to do that. I ought to dig those out. And we showed articles from the 1940s going, oh, it's not true. They have re-education camps over there. He's Uncle Joe. He loves America. And then people that got concerned about that and said our own military and government's funding him, oh, they were the conspiracy kooks. They were the bad people. Well, now we know Joseph Stalin killed over 30 million people. It's like it's not polite. Oh, now Alex is worried about a big government, so they've got some re-education camps. So the TSA setting up highway checkpoints is sticking their hands down our pants. What's the big deal? I mean, come on. Don't be so alarmist. Everything's all right. I mean, the media says we've had a recovery. Doesn't matter if record numbers of small businesses are shutting down and profits for even big companies are way down. And doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if 90+% of the debt they claim we own is derivatives we've signed on to and it's impossible to pay back anyways. You know what? Thank goodness there's a Bank of the World getting set up, a new corporate world government. But you're still kooky if you believe in world government, though. Yeah, all those folks that believed in the world government, they were proven right, but that makes them even worse. They're alarmist bad people. You know what? Oh, over 90% of the FDA and EPA scientists have gone public 3 separate times and signed letters. They even tried to file lawsuits pointing out that fluoride gives you a massive increase in all sorts of cancers and brain damages people, and it's official. And they even forced the American Medical Association to say under 5 shouldn't take it or be around it. You go to the store, it's water, floss for kids, toothpaste for kids, fluoride, all of it. I mean, it's just incredible, ladies and gentlemen, the crazy land we live in. And then I run into these idiot enforcers of the systems, code enforcers, bureaucrats, cops, whatever, and they got this power trip in their eye and think you're scared of them. And they're like little kids. I'm like, dude, you're wearing a costume. You're wearing a costume. I've snuck into globalist rituals, military operations, death threatened, physically attacked. Sometimes I think about all the stuff I've done, and it's like a joke. It's like a movie. If you made a movie about this, no one would believe it. And you have these, I'm not bragging, I'm just a man who's taking action. And here are these children, after 17 years in the trenches of research and combat with the New World Order in the info war, and spies and death threats and infiltration and everything and lawsuits. And these children think I'm scared of them. No, children, I'm scared of what's happening to you and what's happened to your mind. I'm scared of you not realizing what you're part of and what you're helping conjure. And how you're going to squeal and beg when you're dying 40 years young of cancer you shouldn't have, you stupid idiot. And you're so trusting in the system, you don't even know a friend when you hear them. I have committed to this 110%, and my life is on the line, and I look at children, the yuppies and the trendies that think it's funny. Sometimes I'm in a restaurant, doesn't happen as often, but somebody will walk over and go, is the black helicopter going to get me? Is it going to? And I just look at these people, and it's like they think their ridicule gets to me, and it does, but not in the way they think. I'm sad for how pathetic they are. They feel good thinking of people as pathetic. I feel sad when people are pathetic. It makes me feel weak. It makes me see my own weakness. It makes me sad for their family and their ancestors who are probably good people, and the disgrace of the bondage we're going into. The sadness, the patheticness, the dirtiness, the innocence being hurt. I can see the crimes, the pain. I can feel it. I know it. I've seen it historically, and I know it's magnifying. The cries of the innocents reach my soul every day because I'm looking up to God. And I can see the reflection back of the pain.
Listeners know what we have done in these foreign countries. We are creating a worse situation. I'm not for dictators. I'm not for despots. But for God's sakes, if you're going into an area and you're going to make things worse, then you need to think about your policy before you do it.
Amazing. Congressman Jones has introduced the legislation. Stay with us. More straight ahead. Your phone calls and a ton of news. Okay, I haven't gotten to some of the most important news. I was looking through my stacks here. I'll do that after I take a round of calls. Fukushima to blame for mysterious illnesses sickening hundreds of flight attendants and killing wildlife all over Alaska. That's in the mainstream news, but they question mark it. Now the people flying in aircraft in that area are having their hair fall out. This is on record. We're going to be getting into that. Just Leishani needs your help to get it rammed through and out onto the floor. HCR 107-202-224-3121. Everybody call right now. Sir, we got about 30 seconds. Final comment.
Well, I always appreciate what you do to educate the American people. I appreciate our men and women in uniform, and I will close by asking God to please bless our men and women in uniform. Let's bring them home, God. Help bring them home, and let's rebuild America, and God bless America.
A republic, not an empire. Congressman Walter B. Jones, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you, my friend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. A real gentleman, a real patriot. We had a Congress full of guys like that, we'd have our country back.